Dr. Mohammed, coming to you first, the Prime Minister this time was expected to make an election speech, his final speech in Parliament, Treasury benches before elections 2024. From Nehru to Indira Gandhi to Rahul Gandhi. Ms. Mohammed, the Prime Minister took no prisoners but made it very clear that this election will be BJP versus the Congress, not so much BJP versus India.
Preeti, today was the most disgusting, despicable and nauseating speech of the Prime Minister of India. And I'll tell you why. He goes after Nehru. Nowhere in the world, any democracy, any Prime Minister or President goes after their first Prime Minister or President. Nehru fought the independence. Let's understand that. He was a freedom fighter. He was more than 10 years in jail. Prime Minister Modi cannot even come near his feet. Let me tell you that today on national TV, not near his feet. He is the architect of India. We had partition at that point of time, strife. We were a very, very poor nation. He built it up with steel plants, dams, institutions, ISRO, AIIMS, I can go on. And for farmers, how we improved the agriculture. There were a lot of issues. We didn't have anything. And then this man goes after a freedom fighter because we understand the RSS did not have freedom fighters. RSS did not have any of those. So number two, Karpuri Thakur, he talks about it and says, look what the Congress has done. I don't know if he knows history, but the government was supported by the Jan Sangh. The minute 26% reservation was passed in 1978 by the Karpuri Thakur government, immediately the RSS started protesting and saying, is this his mother's birthright? And the government fell because RSS and the Jan Sangh pulled the plug. Number three, he says, from the ramparts of the Red Fort, look what Nehru is saying. From the ramparts of the Red Fort, what did the Prime Minister say? Take care of your women. Keep them safe. Shameless Prime Minister of India. What did you do for the wrestlers? He speaks about Nari Shakti. I was shocked. The wrestlers who are our stars, They were begging you for justice. And that member of parliament is still inside parliament, even now, Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh. Have you taken any action? Have you taken any action against Pragya Thakur, who called God se Desh Bhakta hai rahenge? Inside the parliament, God says a terrorist. If Pragya Thakur calls a terrorist a Deshbhakt, then Pragya Thakur is a terrorist. I'm saying that on national television. What action has he taken? He talks about corruption. I want to ask him, who has been convicted from the Congress party? You talk about there were corruption issues in parliament discussed at that point of time. Yes, you brought in the corruption issues. If we saw to it that there is an allegation, we asked the minister to step down and there was a probe. That's what we did. Not like you who went just after the opposition. A. Raja, who is the one who initiated the probe against him, a CBI probe, a sitting minister of us? We, not you. And he's innocent. There was no scam. That's what the Supreme Court said.
Is it a monologue? Can I come in?
2G. We all know that. Where has a congressman been convicted? So I can go on and
I want to bring you in on this. Again, he talks about Dr. Mohammed, you've had your time. I want to give the same time to Mr. Tuhin Sinha. You'll get the same time, sir. Please don't worry. But Mr. Sinha, come in. The charge by the Congress says after today's speech of the Prime Minister, it does seem to suggest that before 2014, India was living in the dark ages.
Good evening, Preeti. Preeti, just 2 days ago, we heard a despicable speech from Kharge addressing his own karyakartas, comparing them with dogs in the process of selection to the Congress party with the purchase of pets. Now, to understand where Congress derives this mentality, this self-condescending mentality, this flagelling mentality, it was important to remind the people of this country that even Nehru at one point of time would very brazenly call Indian lazy. And it's a fact. You hear his 1959 speech from the ramparts of Red Fort. And that is one of the reasons why India always moved at a very tardy pace till 2014. Now, point number two, just 3 days ago, they were talking about one of the senior leaders, D.K. Suresh, was demanding a separate nation for South India. Where does Congress derive this divisive mentality? And therefore, while asserting our achievements, it was important to show Congress the mirror. It was important to tell them why they have become redundant today.